Welcome to Bespoke Diaries. Today's article is on Live the Story You Want to Tell by Javed Khatri, founder, Klan, Korrect India. If you look at his family history and if you go generations back, you will hardly find any generation that was into entrepreneurship. Leave entrepreneurship aside, not even education. He was the first person to complete 10th grade. He was born in the slums of Mumbai to a very beautiful couple, his mom being a housewife and his father, a carpenter. They used to live in a tiny house, 10 feet by 9 feet to be precise, that included our bedroom, kitchen, hall, bathroom, whatever you say, that was our everything. During rainy days, when most people would enjoy and welcome the rains, we used to feel scared because our roofs used to leak like anything, and we used to spend sleepless nights collecting the leaking water and cleaning. Not to forget the long queues at the common public toilets every day in the morning. Parents had to go to and fro 1 kilometer just to fetch one hand utensil of drinking water. He hopes you are able to relate to where he comes from. In the next few minutes, he would like to present to you his personal journey with the hope that it helps you evolve in your life. His childhood was very normal. The only aspiration that we used to have in our childhood was to somehow complete 10th standard and then start supporting the family financially by doing odd jobs. Driving an auto rickshaw or selling vegetables, or at the most getting a job at a call center. That was the only aspiration that we all had during that time. We didn't have access to information as the internet wasn't prevalent back then, nor was there anyone who could inspire us to dream big. All he knew was, we are small people, you need loads of money to do big things, and since we don't have money, we can't dream big. Not even in his wildest of dreams he had thought that he can build multiple companies from scratch, completely bootstrapped, sell one company for $2 million, and make it to Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia. He had never ever imagined all these. He is sure you guys must be very curious to know how did this happen? Let him share his story. Back in 2006, he thinks when he was in 8th standard we had a subject called personality development. That is where the first time he heard the word entrepreneur. Before that, he had never ever heard of the word entrepreneur or entrepreneurship, and he still struggled to write the correct spelling. Our teacher narrated a very beautiful story about an entrepreneur building a business from scratch, and that's something that intrigued him. He was like, wow, it's a different joy to build something from zero. Building something out of nothing has a different joy altogether. Remember, in our childhood, we all used to say he will become a doctor, engineer, pilot, etc. After that incident he used to say he will become an entrepreneur. The very second incident he remembers is while he was in engineering second year. The setup was very similar. He was sitting in one corner of the auditorium and he was attending a talk by Mr. Faisal Faruqi, who is the CEO of mythshut.com, and he was sharing his life story as to how he started his company, what challenges he faced, how he dealt with it, what problem they are solving, and what impact it had on the people's lives. He was so inspired that he felt goosebumps. He wanted to become like him and build a company like him. But his inner self laughed, making fun of him, and said, "Hey Javed, stop dreaming. You don't have what it takes to build a business and become an entrepreneur." He always had this inferiority complex. But that day something happened. He had a fight with his inner self and told him he will do it and you will watch that. The situation was not favorable financially at home because he always used to think that you need deep pockets, you need heavy investment to build a business, and when he started his journey he started realizing no, he was wrong. The fact is, where there's a will there's a way. Somehow, after a lot of struggle, he managed to get himself access to the internet, and that changed his entire life. Was introduced to a whole new world altogether. Back then in 2011, the internet was a total luxury for him. He didn't have a smartphone or the internet pack on the smartphone, the way it's common today. He used to spend 15 to 16 hours every single day navigating through the building block of the web. He started teaching himself multiple skills, one of them being web development. He built and launched his very first website, which is still live today even after more than 10 years. People around him started noticing his work. The same people who used to mock me started coming to him and used to ask, "Hey, we saw your website, it's super cool, would you mind teaching us how to build a website?" He was like, "Yeah, of course, why not?" He saw the progress, and more people now wanted to hang out with him, learn from me, and do projects with him. He formed a group where we used to work on projects, build things and learn from each other. He had started all alone without anything with him but just self-belief, and now he had 10 to 15 people with him working on multiple projects together. All this changed in a span of 6 months. All you need is just 6 months of focus to change your life and belief in yourself. Every dog has its day, so just keep pushing and start alone. If you are true to your mission, people will gradually join you. So we kick-started the project, and started teaching ourselves how to write mobile apps, and how to write the back-end. The clock was ticking, every single day, every single hour was important to us. We used to work 16 to 17 hours a day without caring about sleep or any other thing. He had never ever experienced such kind of energy before. We were on a mission. He remembers standing and coding for hours during the night on his desktop computer, as there was no place to keep a chair in his house because the arrangement was such that if you keep a chair, it will not be possible for other family members to sleep because of space crunch. Not only were we able to launch before time, but the app was widely received by the student community. We got more than 5,000 installs within just a week, and got covered by major media houses. This entire incident further boosted his confidence, and for the first time, he was able to see his true potential. What first seemed like an impossible task, was there in front of all of us. After the Dream Admission app, the team worked together, took up challenges and executed multiple projects. But that's a story for some other day. Never get bogged down by constraints, instead use them as motivation. The work automatically expands according to the time you allocate for it. If you give it 15 days, you will be able to complete it within 15 days, and if you give it 2 months, you will complete the same task in 2 months. You never know your true potential till you actually deep dive into the problem. After carefully evaluating all the job offers, he decided to join a startup that was into recruitment space. They were building a Tinder for jobs. Great problem, amazing people to work with. He joined them as an Android engineer, and within 2 to 3 months, he realized he was not enjoying it, the bigger purpose was missing, and he wanted to take up bigger challenges. He quit the job in just 3 months. He thinks people do internships for 10 longer than that. Joined another startup with a bigger role, and the same thing happened. He learned that he is not made for jobs. He needs more autonomy and more responsibilities, which is a bit difficult to find in the job world. He was okay to work for 18 hours a day, and make less money in spite of his family solely dependent on him, but did not want to do a 9 to 5 job. He wanted to start something of his own. Casually met his friends Monda and Uday, who are my co-founders and have played a significant role in what he is today. Convinced them about the idea, and we started our own venture. The decision to quit the job and start the company wasn't easy, as he had just 20,000 rupees in his bank account and he has to support his family financially. For the initial 6 months, we had no business, we were on the verge of losing hope. In fact, his co-founders had considered going back and taking up jobs again, but somehow he convinced them to wait for some more time. We will see the fruits. The patience and persistence paid off, and we bagged some great projects. And from there on, there was no looking back. Had the honor and privilege to work with brands like Tata, Airtel, Bajaj Electricals, Facebook, and Taj Group of Hotels, just to name a few. In fact, my company Custard built the very first version of Zepto. The business was great, the team was great, and we were at the peak, but we realized the bigger purpose was missing. We were in search of the next big thing. That's when we got the acquisition offer from eBike Go. We sold Custard for $2 million. We realized every line of code we write, every pixel we design, and every product feature we ship, directly impacts the environment. This compelled us to join hands with eBikeGo to fight climate change and make a difference in people's lives. Since inception, we were able to save more than 75 lakhs kgs of CO2 emissions with a fleet of electric vehicles. We worked on some super cool stuff at eBikeGo, right from building the OS for electric vehicles to gamification with carbon credits. Last month, I bid farewell to eBikeGo to work on a new mission, which is his next venture, which is stealth mode currently. This is what he has learned through all these experiences in my life. Do what you love and love what you do. You will fall in love with problems. You will enjoy every bit of the challenge and tackle it seamlessly. Ideas are just 1%, and the rest 99% is ruthless execution. Life is too short to learn from your own mistakes, learn from others. Degrees are important, but skills have an edge over degrees. We must learn to learn. And lastly, thoughts become things. Dreams do come true. Never stop dreaming. But yes, dreams without actions are just like Liti without choker. If you truly wish, you can get and achieve any damn thing in this world. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For similar type of article, please reach us at contact@thebespokediaries.com, or you can visit our website www.thebespokediaries.com.